So I understand that you actually jumped in Bastogne and as a reenactment. Was it last year?
No, I didn't jump. I went over there.
Oh, you didn't
I
jump.
didn't do any jumping. They say they won't insure anyone that's 85 or older to jump.
But you did it. You did the real thing
Oh, yeah.
back, and I understand you had 4 jumps. Is that right?
I had 4 combat jumps.
And you're one of just 2 people.
There was only 2 people in the 101st Airborne Division that lived through 4 of them. The average lifetime was 1.5.
Wow, 1.5 jumps.
You didn't see very many that had 2.
Not very many people.
You saw a few that had 3. It was probably 10 or 15 men that lived through 3 of them.
So you went over and watched the jump out of the actual
Uh-huh.
military airplane with the uniforms on and the whole thing.
Yeah.
That must have been emotional.
And it was all. I actually met people there on this trip that had been little old kids when I was fighting in there. I took over a farmhouse and lived in it for 5 or 6 days with my group of Pathfinder. And they had a little boy 14 years old at that time. He's now 74, and he grew up and became president of the biggest bank in Bastogne.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet he was appreciative and grateful for the sacrifices.
He was very grateful. Most of them were. We lived in a private home the 6 days we were there, and I tried to get them to let me go grocery shopping with them and them pick out the food that they wanted, and I'd pay for it, and they wouldn't do it. And the lady crossed her hands like this, and she said, "No, we owe you everything." Said, "My father was a slave labor prisoner of war for the Germans for 5 years."
Wow.
And said her husband's father was prisoner of war for 4 years. So they wouldn't let us buy groceries. They wouldn't let us give them money or anything. But they did have 4 children. And we told them that we insisted on them permitting us to put a Christmas card in each one of their stockings with 15-euro dollars in it, where they could buy whatever they wanted, you know.
Right.
And they did finally assent to
They
that.
let you do that?
Yeah, but that was all they would take.
Oh.
And they were all very, very grateful.
This must be really neat for you to see these demonstrations that these people do and see this school and see everyone so interested in that era and what you did.
It's great to see these guys that are willing to sacrifice the money and the time and the effort they do to keep this spirit of the Airborne alive and going. And they make commemorative jumps all over. They made a commemorative jump in Normandy this year. I watched them jump there on the 5th of June, where we had jumped 60 years prior.
Right.
And then they jumped in Zon, Holland on September the 27th, which we did. And then they jumped in Bastogne. They jumped on the 19th instead of the 23rd because we needed to get home.
Right.
You know. And they have not jumped in the Siegfried line yet, but they're making an effort to get permission to do that. So they've made commemorative jumps everywhere that we did in Europe except the one area.
Well, I can tell that it's a real treat for these guys to have you here, and I think somebody referred to you as the local treasure. So I know it means a lot for these guys that you're here and come out and participate in this.
Well, of course, it embarrasses me for people to treat me unusual, you know, or like I'm a hero, because all the heroes are still over there pushing up daisies. They died. We that survived are just survivors. And we were fortunate that we were able to fight and be associated with a bunch of heroes. They were all heroes. And, of course, a few of us are reaping the glory of it now.
Yeah,
merely because we were associated with those people.
that's a good point.
So it's kind of embarrassing. But these boys, when they heard about me and my exploits, I wrote a book 2 years ago. Did you ever see the show The Dirty Dozen?
Mm-hmm, I did.
Well, I'm the sergeant that took that group into Normandy.
Really?
Yeah. And, of course, it is one of the most legendary group of paratroopers that came out of World War II. And I carried 20 men in there instead of 12 as the show depicts. I carried 20 in instead of 12, and I came out with 2. It was a real suicidal mission. And then it was the same thing in Holland and so forth. But I had great groups of terrific soldiers. And because of that, I've got a lot of notoriety because I survived.
Mm-hmm.
But they were the true heroes that are still over there, that died over there protecting this nation and our freedoms and our privileges and liberties that we enjoy.
Very true. Well, what an honor to meet you. Really, it's been a great privilege for me to meet you today.
Well, I'm just a very ordinary survivor, is what I happen to be, and people don't realize it. It's a shame that the story isn't being told. There is 1,065 World War II veterans die a day now, and their stories is going into the graveyards. It will never be known or public. And I was listening to a tape a minute ago that I have. It's entitled Bastogne, and it was made by actual people that lived there at the time that we were fighting in Bastogne. And it should be made public listening for all of us, our school children, you know, to understand what those people suffered and went through, and the things that we were actually fighting and providing and protecting for this nation.